What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Rob's Gaming Table. Today on the table, we have another Game of Thrones: The Card Game 2nd Edition tournament video for you, brought to you by these awesome folks who back the channel at patreon.com/Rob's Gaming Table. Thank you, everyone, for the support. Much appreciated. In this, we have Jeff playing Night's Watch HRD, The God's Eye, against John playing House Stark, Banner Kraken. Jeff on the left, John on the right. We got Samuel Tarley, a Messenger Raven, a Rose Road, and of course the God's Eye out there for the Night's Watch player on the left. On the right for the Stark player, he's got an Iron Mines down on the bottom there, Flea Bottom already to start, Rose Road, and he's got a Winterfell Steward, a Little Theon, and a Wildling Bandit. So 6 cards set up on the Stark side of things. 3 cards set up on the HRD is not bad though when you're only spending 4 gold. So if you guys haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. It supports the channel. It's free. Helps us out a lot here. We hit 4,000 subscribers recently, so thank you to all the Thrones players, or Thrones viewers, and general viewers of the channel who've followed along, subscribed. Really helps us out. Also, hit that like button if you like these Game of Thrones videos. Helps other people find them on YouTube. And I just want to say thank you for all the support. Definitely motivates me to do more of this, that's for sure. All right, so we've got Winter Festival on the left, flipped there by the Night's Watch player. And on the other side, we got a Varys Riddle. Big miss on the Varys Riddle. And we see an Underground Vault marshaled in on the Night's Watch side. So Night's Watch player going first. He's placed 2 power on his Winter Festival there to remind him later to grab it at the end of the challenge phase. There's no Summer Plot on the other side to stop it. And we see John here lining up his trophies here that he's going to try to bag those stag tokens there, I guess, as power. So we can follow along how much he needs to get as he tries to win. And we have Sir Corin Hoffhand. And I think it's a Dragon Glass Dagger. I think. Could be a Practice Blade, but I think it's Dragon Glass Dagger on him there. And it's over to the Stark player for marshalling. Slaps down a Hearttree Grove. Kneels his Winterfell Steward. And we have Arya Stark from the core set coming in, getting a dupe underneath her, of course.
That's a costly dupe.
And it sounds like it was an important card to John's strategy underneath that Arya. We do have one more game coming up in this series between the 2 undefeated players, I believe. It's just a Swiss tournament, so I got a couple games per round for Swiss, so six games total in this series, so one more coming, like I said. And then we'll have Store Championship coverage coming after that. I have a couple I'm attending this weekend, and then another one the very next weekend, and then I think a couple weeks after that, another one, so should be hitting at least 4 in the next 4 weeks, I think it is. So I should come back with a ton of videos. I'll try to pump those out as quickly as I can, but I'm sure I'll be a little overwhelmed, like usual. Damn real life getting in the way. And Gloomhaven, of course.
Does this reaction stop the unopposed? Or is it still opposed?
After you win, so it doesn't stop the...
So we see Triss Botley out there now. We have the Wildling Bandits blocking a military challenge. And Corin's using his effect to kill somebody. And getting a renown, obviously. And now we have an intrigue with Sam Wall coming in.
Oh no, I'm not getting something. You're just getting so much power. But do I want to...
So it sounds like Jeff, the Night's Watch player, is torn here whether to do an intrigue challenge or not, trying to hit cards. But he doesn't want to put power on his house.
Cards are good.
just to be stolen by his opponent. So Samuel Tarley coming in, getting an unopposed power on the intrigue.
Unless you're able to give yourself a icon. It's just what you want.
And Varys, look at that hit. That was worth the intrigue challenge, I think.
Probably. It's a good
And he almost didn't do that intrigue challenge. So it's interesting. Stark, Banners, Kraken,
Village.
running Varys. I'm assuming just cheap dudes.
On the game. This action.
We already have the one you played, so.
So I think a pillage just happened there and grabbed, I think, a Dragonglass Dagger, and Tris Botley immediately sent it out of the game. Now we have a claim to military coming in, using a Winter is Coming. Little Theon's gonna send a couple dudes to the dead pile here. And it's, of course, it's Messenger Raven
Cool.
and Samuel Tarley.
Thomas, you by GNK Power.
And that looks like it's the end of the phase. 2 power off a Winter Festival for the Night's Watch player. Dominance going to the Stark player. And we are tied at 3-3. And we've got a march, of course, into Varys Riddle. Varys Riddle trying to take advantage of the double march to kind of level out the boards here, but we still have a Tris Botley hanging around
Still goes back to my
on the other side.
That goes back to your hand, but you can't play.
And the Dragonglass Dagger that went back to hand on the Night's Watch player's side is not going to be able to be played while Tris Botley is still in play, since that other copy is out of play. And Tris Botley is still around. But if he can leave play at all, he'll be able to play them after that. So we have the Lordsport Shipwright Marshal in, of course, in action from the Night's Watch player, kneeling in the Underground Vault to get his money before that Lordsport Shipwright knelt himself. And then a Tumblestone Knight coming in, and looks like sitting on 2 gold for the Stark side. Over to the Night's Watch player for his marshalling.
I have an action. Corn.
And Tris Botley's going to use his action here to throw Corrin out of the game. So Corrin cannot be marshaled, and a Dragonglass Dagger cannot be marshaled right now.
Once per round.
Okay, so you can do it once. Okay. Not great. 1, 2, 3. Wait.
No, but I mean for my attacking, right? So I wouldn't get the inside if you gash in the back.
I guess you can have that.
Go ahead.
Intrigue.
So we start things off with an intrigue challenge. We have Dolorous Ed jumping in to block immediately with the Lordsport Shipwright on the attack.
It's back to him. We're gonna bounce it back to him.
Looks like Donald Noy has 2 gold on him there, the Bestow. And he can discard one of those gold to drop a weapon attachment into play.
Pillage.
And then we have an unopposed power coming in with Tris Botley doing some pillage.
Watch as need.
That could be handy.
And of course, Tris Botley already used his action for the round, so he can't remove that yet. And we have Flea Bottom being triggered on the other side to bring Arya back into play.
What was her dupe?
Catelyn.
Okay.
Oh, it was Catelyn. Of course, that Catelyn was the copy of the dupe under Arya earlier that John was complaining about. And over the Nice Watch player for his challenges. Not looking good, though, in the board state here. Stark player was able to recover quite nicely. course, when Arya goes to leave play, she can discard her dupe to stay in play from Flea Bottom. So we'll still have most likely 3 or 4 characters still on the board. And we got an intrigue with Donal Noy. And it's a lowly Winterfell Steward, not a big hit at this moment. We see White Tree out there stealing some money. I missed that was marshaled.
Ooh, ward. That's good.
No characters I can take anyway.
Oh, I do have lots.
Oh, yeah?
Because a lot of the stewards don't have that protection.
Oh, really?
Some do.
Sounds like the Stark player wanted to ward Donal Noy, but of course no attachments. And we got accounting coppers on the Stark side into trade routes on the Night's Watch side. So the Night's Watch player is going to get, well, looks like 8 gold off of trade routes. Plus, of course, that's just from the effect. And on the other side, we're getting 3 cards drawn off counting coppers. And first action, Underground Vault. Taking a gold for the Lordsport Shipwright can kneel it. And since the Night's Watch player is going first, that Lordsport Shipwright is not able to kneel the White Tree. Only 2 costs or lower unless you're first player.
2?
I am not sure what that location is.
Does it matter if I nail that?
But of course, John's going to read it there for us. No, he's not. He's just looking at it.
Remove that from play?
6.
It is the new gift.
1.
Limited marshalling action, kneel the steward character to gain a gold, limit twice per phase. Challenge action, kneel the steward character to draw a card, limit twice per phase. Wow, I didn't know they had that location. That explains the desire for the stewards here.
I'll protect it. Because why not?
It doesn't protect from sacrificial. It doesn't protect from sacrifice.
Okay.
Okay. Good?
Yeah. Go ahead.
And it looks like an iron bank out there with a dupe on it. And he bestowed 1 gold on it. So he's able to spend gold on it as if it was in his gold pool. Of course, that has that reaction. After you collect income, move X gold from the treasury to Iron Bank. X is the number of gold on the Iron Bank.
But that puts it into play.
It's putting it into play.
But you don't play it.
So it sounds like there's a disagreement here on Tris Botley blocking cards from coming into play or just being played.
Okay.
I'm not going to do it yet.
Are you going to remove
But of course, I'll just double check here. Until Tris Botley leaves play, the player cannot marshal or play any copy of that card. But you are able to put it into play using effects, I guess, like Donal Noy's effects. So he can sneak a Dragonglass Dagger in there, which we know he probably still has in hand. And drop it down onto somebody by spending gold off Donal Noy. And it looks like we have Bowen Marsh out there now.
Get the kneel the steward to do that action? And during the challenge phase, you get a gold or a card?
Card.
In the challenges phase?
Yes.
Another Tumblestone Knight. And that's it. Looks like he's not going to use the Lordsport Shipwright to kneel the new gift.
Go ahead.
So it seems the Night's Watch player is kind of getting back into this here. He looked like he was down and out. But it's kind of built back up from the pressure. Obviously, trade routes will help that. Will help you get there usually.
Mill.
Theon coming in on a military challenge to start.
Bounce into play.
I guess the Night's Watch player passes challenges.
I'm gonna draw a card.
And the Steward of the Wall is going to be knelt there to draw a card using the new gift.
Makes him immune.
Yeah.
This weapon makes him immune to his ability. You know that, right?
Oh, okay.
You can do that if you want.
I'll definitely do that. I didn't know that. That was just triggered abilities.
So it looks like the Dragon Glass Dagger is going to come in to basically stop Theon's effect from affecting Donnell Noy, and he's going to fully block and not have to lose anyone to military claim.
Okay.
And a power challenge with Arya and Triss Botley, stealthing Bowen Marsh. Unopposed. And the Stark player is now at 9 power. Wow.
New gift.
He pillages a copy of the new gift off the top of the Night's Watch player's deck.
I know. You pass your challenges, right?
I passed my challenge. Do you want intrigue?
Dominance, you win.
I win dominance. Wait.
He goes before. Do you have an action before?
So,
Go ahead. I'm passing my challenges, but you can go.
so now I can kneel this to draw a card.
So he's kneeling another Steward there to draw another card before they leave the challenge phase.
I've got 3, so we tie for dominance.
I have 5.
5. Okay, you win dominance.
So Dominus goes to the Stark player.
Goes under my deck.
I'd rather draw cards at this point.
I'm good for reserve.
Well, okay. I've got 8.
And we have Retaliation flipped into the Sacrifice plot that I can never remember the name. You guys know that.
Yes. Draw cards?
I got to sacrifice a character.
Oh, yes. Smart. And I will still go.
Fallen from Favor. That's what it's called. So Lordsport Shipwright, first action, kneeling the Underground Vault, of course. And we saw the white tree used to steal gold there from the Stark player when he collected income. It's a little back and forth choke battle here. So with Retaliation here, depending what the Stark player can marshal, we could see a little bit of a comeback. And this Night's Watch player could catch up, kind of turn this game around here. He's got the card draw in place, got some economy built up. And hitting with 2 claim, he can definitely deal a pretty good blow to the Stark player. And as I say that, Varys hits the board. Of course, with that Great Hall helping him get out there. And then a ward pulling across the character. The Steward at the Wall. And doesn't look like any gold save, though, for Flea Bottom.
So I get 6 gold.
He does have an Iron Mine there, just in case.
I'll play second one again.
So another Rose Red out on the Night's Watch side. Night Gathers. Does he have more reserve? He does not have a higher reserve.
I've got 6.
Yeah, he cannot do that. So kids, watch out. Don't let Night's Watch players play that event when they have less reserve than you. Wouldn't be the first time I've seen that tried on video here by different Night's Watch players.
Fuck. I can only go to fucking 7. Oh, I get
Marshall your own Varus?
Oh no, I was going to steal area.
So it sounds like the Night's Watch player Jeff there wanted to marshal Arya into play, which would have been good.
Still see your discard pile?
Now, if he's got some reserve raising characters like Bowen Marsh, he could possibly get above 7, but I think I heard him say he only has enough to get to 7. So maybe he has one other character.
Alan's pretty good.
But I can't.
Sorry.
So it looks like Jeff's there just deciding what he might steal from the discard pile of the Stark player on the next turn, if he still has that event available and he has high reserve. Yeah, there's another card that helps him get to 7 reserve.
3, 4, 5.
You know I played Varus.
I don't think we'll play him.
So Craster now put on the board, and the Stark player reminding the Night's Watch player that Varus is on the board, so why play Craster?
What do you know that I don't know?
Doesn't look like any gold saved either on the Night's Watch side. So I don't know if he has a Nightmares. I don't think he can play gold from the Iron Bank right now. So I'm very curious what's going on.
This phase. I was looking at if it was this turn or this phase.
After that?
Yeah. I was going to intentionally let my guy die so I couldn't run back.
So Eastwatch by the Sea is that other Night's Watch location there, the one after Dominance phase begins. If you have higher reserve than your opponent, you get to draw a card.
We have to also sacrifice him.
Yeah, I think we already going. You're right. Okay. I will.
So now an entry coming in with the Steward at the wall and Varus stealthing Craster.
On the post.
And no defenders, another power for the Stark player. And gets a copy of Longclaw. And Triss is going to trigger to get Longclaw out of play. And now our power challenge all in here with Triss Botley and the Tumblestone Knight. And no defenders there.
Village.
2 power away from winning on the Stark side. Night's Watch player down to 0 power and gets a practice plate off the top of the deck with Pillage. And now on the other side, an intrigue with Craster, 2 claim. No defenders. Which might make it tough for the Stark player to recover here, or maybe debate not popping his Varus. So we saw an Iron Bank will have his 2 get discarded there. And I'm sure he would have used to help sneak someone out of play before popping Varus off. And now we have unopposed power coming in with Bowen Marsh, claiming 2. Bringing the Stark player down to 11 power. 4 power on the Night's Watch side.
No, I've got 7.
You have to have higher, right? Or is it equal to?
No, I only have 7. Okay.
I'll wipe.
You will?
Yeah.
And we have Varus go off. Sending everything to the discard pile.
Well, he plays Craster, and I'm like, I have Varus on the board. He's like, I don't think you're gonna play it. I was like, well, I'm gonna play it now. Why'd you think I was gonna play it? You can play Craster, like that's the one character I can't get rid of without Varus.
So now we have no characters on the board on both sides. And we have For the Watch into Time of Wolves. I think it's what it is. So we got Summer coming into play, of course.
Put him into play,
That's with that, right? 3?
and I have his reaction to do.
Okay.
see bitches.
You didn't see bitches at all?
I didn't see many bitches. I got Arya though. That's who I'm grabbing.
So it sounds like Arya Starks coming out of the discard pile. Back to hand with Summer's ability.
And Wards.
So still a gold.
Does she go into play? Right.
Yeah.
And a gold stolen with White Tree, so only 4 gold to work with. And a Great Hall and a Heart Tree Grove on the Stark side.
Who'd you grab?
Sounds like the Stark player is going first.
Today, my green blood has been sea bitch, raided by Bay of Ice, and Dagmered. I'm not going to play any more HRD for a while. It's not
So you
sick.
can hear Tom off to the side, who I just finished playing in our 3rd round.
I play Rob Sick.
He's complaining on purpose because he knows I can hear him. And he had a rough day with his HRD Martel, which you would have seen him play it in an earlier video.
I'm not playing.
But he said it got raiding the Bay of Ice at a play, got sea bitched, and also got stolen with Madagmar. And yeah, he's kind of doesn't want to play HRD for a while, he says. Sorry, Tom. I'm so sorry. Sorry, not sorry. And there's Arya, of course, marshaled in with the dupe. Using a second Great Hall we saw come in there. And there's Sea Bitch. Over to the Nice Watch player for his marshalling.
7 gold.
And that For the Watch is going to help weather the storm from the Stark player to fizzle on that first challenge.
He doesn't have any stewards.
No, I ordered one of the stewards.
So it would either probably help him from not having a character be killed with a military challenge or power being stolen with a power challenge. And more reserved now on the Nice Watch side, so he's debating playing that event. I think the Night Gathers to marshal out of his opponent's discard pile. But of course, Arya is now in play, so he cannot steal his original intended target from last round. I don't think there's a Theon in there anymore. I think he went to the bottom of the deck earlier. It's Catelyn Stark's in there. Not sure what else. I guess everything that got Varys away there. Triss Botley, Tumblestone Knights. Yeah, looks like that's it right there.
Yeah, okay. Night Gathers.
So he is going to play the Night Gathers.
8 for those 3 cards.
And he's going to marshal in all the Stark characters, leaving Triss behind. So 2 Tumblestone Knights and Catelyn Stark.
Then I'm going to pay 1 for the Watch as Need. I will call
He's going to name stewards on a watch as need.
1, 2, 6. So I can
Going to look through the top 8 cards since he has 8 reserve.
Fortress.
Steward,
What happened to Trish?
Embarrassed him away.
Looks like he got 5 stewards there off that hit out of 8. Not too shabby.
Happening, but I just like using Wards.
cut if you want.
Why wouldn't you watch us need before you play stuff? Why wouldn't you watch us need before
I
you
think
Nice
he
Gather?
just, I think he just really wanted to.
I mean,
I want to get her.
yeah, but now then you would have had 4 more gold instead of Tumblestone Knights for stewards you're playing, right?
You good?
Yeah.
So he's got 4 gold on Iron Bank now, and he's still not using any of it. So that's interesting.
Oh, yeah.
And Sea Bitch is still a White Tree. He's using that Stark event to sack.
Tumblestone Knight!
So White Tree is gone. I think the Night's Watch player has to sack a location now. Or a character, I believe. And he gets rid of his draw/money generator. The new gift there.
That's limited?
Yeah.
I was gonna sell East Watch and I was like, I feel like White Tree's more annoying.
Yeah.
You good?
Yeah. You're first, right?
I don't even have any gold.
So Stark player John going to use Flea Bottom there, realizing it has no economy for it. Now, does he do any challenges here at all or play defensively? I think you go in on power challenge, let it fizzle, but he has to do that with Arya, so then he won't be able to get the military through since he only has Summer for that, and those 2 Tumblestone Knights can defend. But then again, that stops the military from coming back at you.
Military, it's over. Power stealth.
So military with Summer lets that fizzle. And then now does a power challenge with stealth, stealthing Catelyn Stark.
Yeah, first challenge military, and then I'm going to do power stealth.
So it sounds like the Stark player just wants to close it out as fast as he can here.
I need to defend.
But
Do I need to win?
he's just going to block the unopposed with the Tumblestone Knight. So 1 power gain by the Stark player, John. And now power challenge with the Tumblestone Knight coming back the other way. And unopposed intrigue. Grabbing a Tumblestone Knight. And they push for dominance. And going to the next round here. So I like this little back and forth they got going on here. Stark player took a pretty good lead, but the Night's Watch player is staying in it. And another retaliation into Valor. Ooh. Oh no. This could be bad for the Stark player.
Yeah.
Oh, he does have Iron Mines.
Iron Mines, Summer.
So he could save Arya with her dupe and then Iron Mines Summer. But it looks like he's going to save the Iron Mines. He only has 1 card in hand.
Bold choice, Tom. Let's see if it pays off.
Draw 2.
Them's the breaks.
Still a gold?
I'm
Not still.
I'm first.
You're first.
I know you cannot steal gold.
Can't still gold.
He's going to steal a goal.
I know you cannot gain more than 2 gold.
I know. I can only go to gain 1. You only have 4, right?
So Wildling Bandit, and then on the other side we have the Underground Vault used to gain a gold. And sits on 2 gold on the Stark side.
So right now, I've got 7 and 8, so 8 total.
So if we can see the Night's Watch player marshal out some bigger military presence and an intrigue icon that can beat that Wildling Bandit, we can see the Stark player have an empty hand, an empty board. I mean, Iron Mines can save somebody, but I guess Flea Bottom could keep the Stark player in it here if you can Flea Bottom in something to kind of save his butt. But
I wonder how long it would take me to move on members until.
I don't know how that Underground Vault stood back up there, but Iron Bank throwing some money into the pot here.
Well,
And Jon Snow with the dupe.
He knows nothing.
And Maester Aemon. And we have a Long Claw put on Jon Snow.
I want to be able to save with my guys.
from what? I just know. Is that all your gold?
That's what all my gold.
Yep. You only have 1 icon though.
He can participate in all the entry challenges.
No, that's stupid.
So you have a boatload of icons.
So it looks like they're rolling back on the marshalling here for the Night's Watch player.
There's no way for me to stop that.
But he realized, I guess, he only had 1 icon and couldn't really take advantage of his 2-claim plot.
Yeah. You're too
I
nice.
don't have any claim,
You don't have claim.
so you can still do it. That's what you're afraid of. I'm not gonna win this.
You'll get some unopposed.
I'll get some unopposed. And I'll get some unopposed probably regardless.
So that's 3 and 3.
That will go back to your hand.
So Bone Marsh.
Why would you dupe him? He's happy? You're happy with that?
Yeah.
Military. military of 1.
One strength military with Wildling Bandit coming in. 0 claim. And that goes unopposed. 3 power away from winning here for the Stark player. He gets an unopposed power, but of course no claim. 2 power away from winning.
Okay.
I have actions.
You have actions.
And now Flea Bottom.
That's what I want. I'm just, how many cards have you
I've got 7. So I'll need to discard 1.
Small Paul is a nice watch character Marshall out there. I was trying to figure out who it was. Interrupt when Small Paul is killed. Search the top X cards of your deck for any number of steward characters. Reveal them, add them to your hand. X is your reserve value. Shuffle your deck. But he's duped, so he'll stick around for a bit.
Maybe I should enter make some of this deck because apparently I get really close to
Unopposed.
And an unopposed intrigue with the Lordsport Shipwright. 1 power away from winning on the Stark side, but now the Nice Watch player is going to do his challenges.
Unopposed, can I do? Let's bring that card back.
And he brings that Stark event back to hand.
Or are you going to do a power challenge for 2? It's up to you.
Yeah, doing a power challenge.
Because I can't bring him back with summer.
So he left the Lordsport Shipwright that he brought in from Flea Bottom, betting on Summer, I believe.
A quad that brings summer back to life. Literally. Or not, just brings Brand back to life. By using...
So an unopposed 2 claim power challenge. Looks like the Nice Watch player is at 10 on his own side. Wow, he came back into this here.
You know what would have won me my games against both these games is Sansa, who I did not see a single time. Oh, I saw her.
And I think they're on their last plot now. Here we have Close Call on the Stark side and March to the Wall.
March to the wall.
He's not there.
And yeah, he forgot to use the Flea Bottom to put the Lordsport Shipwright back on the bottom of the deck.
Thank you.
So now, a 5 cost and a 6 cost character were just marshaled, knowing as March was his last plot. That's a little crazy. I don't know what is going on there. And he takes Small Paul out with the dupe. I don't know what is going on here. Jeff making some weird decisions, some weird plays on the Nice Watch side.
And you can go first.
Let's call summer.
Draw 2.
And it sounds like Close Call was used to move Summer from the dead to the discard pile. And of course, drawing a card off Close Call.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I'm using a lot of cards to kill the 10 guy.
And we have Summer coming in. First action on the Nice Watch side is to get 2 gold off of the Underground Vault.
Unless that 10 strength is the mountain.
And then we have Arya played in with a dupe, using Summer, of course, to get her back to hand.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
And the Wildling Bandit. And 3 gold saved on the Stark side. So he does have a gold for Flea Bottom.
So 7 gold.
You can't see the icons on this.
That's true. You don't see many military intrigue start characters.
And we got Gillian play.
Yeah, based off your last plot, playing Johnstone Amen was a fucking terrible idea.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
3.
Yeah.
2. Oh yeah. Gold.
Oh my god.
And Sweet Donald Hill.
Is there more games or is it 3? It's a 3. So it's undefeated. So there's 1 undefeated. Are you duping her? I didn't play you.
And it looks like a Dragonglass Dagger. Marshall in on Bow and Marsh.
I gotta drive these guys back to John, by the way. Nice to meet you, Robbie. You're done?
Yeah.
Where's your military icon?
He doesn't have
I
any.
don't have any.
That's unfortunate.
It is.
He's got a lot of intrigue.
Sacrifice the character location.
And there's that Stark event again. Sacking a character or location. So we have a Rose Road on the Night's Watch side and Hearttree Grove on the Stark side.
Economy as well. Smart.
Play bottom.
And a military with Summer. Most likely will go unopposed. Yes, it does. So power gain there for the unopposed on the Stark side. And Eamon's going to kneel for the save.
He's doing it.
Versus the enemy.
In your deck.
Power
So
still.
power with Arya stealthing past Boa Marsh. Gilly's got to block the unopposed, of course. One power away from winning the Stark player. Oh, so close again.
Oh, we're tight on gold.
Play bottom.
I know. Why'd you say that? That was more of my plan.
And now an intrigue with the Wilding Bandit. And faction card Nelt.
You have another Dolores? Too bad he's dead.
So no, he undoes the faction card Neil. Dolores Ed is knelt out, so he's not coming into play. Flea bottom now. So we saw Sweet Donald Hill there block the intrigue.
I'm winning. He's free strength.
Oh, he's three string?
Once I get rid of that gold.
So we see Flea bottom being played here, so the Stark player can spend a gold to get the Wildling Bandits buffed up to 3 strength, since there's still a gold on the Night's Watch side. But if he has an action to spend the gold now before they determine winner, he can even it out again.
I'm trying to find the biggest strength
It's
character.
almost so Knight, chosen for Flea bottom target there on the Stark side.
Would you like to command him now to win?
So, you win?
Night gathers. Right?
Power will steal a gold and not make me not win.
You have the power.
Power.
And a power challenge from the Night's Watch player using Bowen Marsh. And the Tumblestone Knights is going to block the unopposed or try to win Dom. He's going to go unopposed.
Huh?
He's not there for Dom.
He's not? Oh, right. He bounces back in. Okay, I'll post.
Yeah, he's going to oppose, of course, because the guy will go to the bottom of the deck. He won't be around for dominance.
Okay.
There's power as well.
I did. Didn't I?
No. If you did, you would won.
Okay. Let's see what I get this time.
I'm mad.
In the saddle again.
Jesus, longest fucking ever.
Do I trade routes and get all the gold?
No.
Riddle.
So looks like 11 power on the Night's Watch side, 13 on the Stark side. This could still go either way.
Are you playing double retail?
I am. But I don't have a military icon. Oh, fuck.
Where's your practice blades?
That's a question.
Are you not running practice blades?
He is. I see. I discarded. I pillaged one.
Oh, maybe that was the only one.
And for the watch, into counting coppers.
Who's first?
You could be first.
And the Night's Watch player chooses the Stark player to go first.
Are you running 3 Santas?
Yeah. Still haven't seen her. I get all of her, but she's dead. I'm first, you said?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
1, 2,
Buckle my shoe.
3, 4, 5. Sacrifice character.
And we have
Oh, that guy.
Ramsey Snow
The guy that you put the deck around.
coming in to force the sacrifice. Getting rid of the Wildling Bandit. And the Sweet Donald Hill on the other side. And a Winterfell Steward marshaled in. And 1 gold save for Flea Bomb there on the Stark side. Got a Rose Road marshaled out on the Night's Watch side. Neils' his Underground Vault
I got 7 gold.
to only get 1.
Why are you stroking Ramsey? It's awesome.
Shit's OP, man.
Yeah, you showed that sweet dog.
I want to see Haragal. It'll be fucking fantastic.
And we got Donnell Noy,
I haven't seen yet.
I have 1 Haragal. I saw it against Shaw.
I believe was sacked earlier because of, or discarded from Varys earlier. And he gets 1 bestow on him. And 2 gold saved on the Night's Watch side.
Third time. I've been waiting. I was like, I'm waiting.
And we just hear them talk about how he's been missing Eastwatch by the Sea multiple turns here,
It worked out.
which could have been the huge difference, drawing 3 cards by this point.
Yeah, it is.
That's too bad.
Who's that? Oh, Donald
Sweet
Lloyd?
Donald. Yeah.
He's not sweet.
It's different Donald.
Different Donald, yeah.
And we have Flea Bomb going off here, getting the Wildling Bandit in play. Who does have a strength buff off of the more gold on the Night's Watch side for now.
Military? Oh.
He almost did a military, almost forgot For the Watch was there. So he's going to do just an intrigue and let it fizzle using the Wildling Bandit.
Challenge fizzles?
Challenge just for
And now a military with Ramsey and Summer.
military of 6.
6 strength. Donald's going to block for 4, I believe. Definitely wants to prevent that unopposed power for sure. And he's going to use Aemon to save. And Arya's going to come in on a power challenge, stealthing past Bowen. And he's got to block the unopposed or he loses.
That's 1 more than the power above.
So he does have to use Gilly. And steals a power. Yet again, 1 power away from winning for the Stark player. And that's all of his challenges over the Night's Watch player. Sitting on 10 power.
Slow burn, Tom. Slow burn.
It's not slow burn. You're not getting anywhere. Every turn you get almost there.
And Bowen Marsh coming back on the power challenge. Unopposed block by the Winterfell Steward. And we have Longclaw ambushed in using Donald Noy's ability,
Sneaky.
which helps get an extra power for Renown. And Ramsey back in play before dominance using the Iron Bank will have its due.
Looks like you win dominance.
Is that enough gold to be there to win Dom? But not enough to win. And it looks like we're going into another round. Wow. I think round number 9 here.
Can he get it? Pretty assassin this turn. It's gonna not matter.
Just really fucking solid.
And he missed the Eastwatch by the Sea draw again, but John's going to let him do it.
I'm assuming you had higher reserve than me.
Yes.
Me, you guys, no, you didn't.
I had 9.
Next month?
He did not have high reserves, so he couldn't have drawn the Eastwatch by the Sea.
I'm sorry. I should
Yeah, he reminds him to draw, but he has Counting Coppers as his plot. So he had 10 reserve. Definitely had more than a Night's Watch player. And we have Valor into Varys Riddle. So we're going to have double Valor go off here to kill Arya. Unless we have an Iron Minds intervene.
Yeah, that does.
So I think Arya's going to stick around here if John does this right.
You can go first.
Alright, I'll save Arya,
So yeah, Arya does get double saved off her dupe and Iron Mines. She's going to stick around.
That's where I fucked up. I had Iron Mines, I'm going to save. Well, I could in my head, I could have saved my entire board, but that works out just the same way as well. I'm going to make it work
Pretty good.
anyways.
It's pretty good.
Okay. Draw 2 cards.
It's not Sansa.
It's not, but it's something better.
So the Night's Watch player chose the Stark player to go first. I'm not sure why that was done. Why did he do that? Knowing Arya's going to stay out there with stealth and a power icon.
Oh!
I think that was the
We've got too many piles now.
game-ending choice right there, doing the choosing the Stark player to go first.
The best.
And Tris Botley's back. And he's going to choose something to remove out of play before the Night's Watch player marshals to try to
Still removed from the game.
choke him a bit.
You can play copies of it.
Play copies of it.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it's a different Triss.
Okay. But you don't need to do that. You win the game.
Why?
Unless I can play 2 power. I don't have 2 power icons.
And so Jeff, the Night's Watch player, is conceded here. He does not have enough power icons. Doesn't even have any. Oh, he does. He has 1 power icon, but not enough to stop from the win, and including stealth. So he concedes. And John, the Stark player, takes it. So guys, if you're into Gloomhaven or don't know what it is, the #1 board game right now on Board Game Geek of all time, BoardGameGeek.com. We're doing a playthrough of the campaign, so check that out at Rob's Gaming Table in the playlists on the main page there. We got more Thrones coming up, so make sure you subscribe. Stay tuned. See you in the next one. Thanks a lot.